Hello, I'm Logic Bunny, and come with me down the rabbit hole of knowledge. Ever feel like you're stuck in a mental maze? Like you're staring at a puzzle, a test question, or a tough decision, and your mind just freezes? That frustrating feeling of being completely stumped, like you're just not smart enough. We've all been there. But what if I told you that problem solving isn't some magical talent you're born with? What if it's a skill you can actually learn and get better at? That's what we're here to explore. In this video, we're going to dive head into the world of logic puzzles. We'll equip you with the tools and techniques to become a problem-solving master. We're talking about critical thinking, pattern recognition, and the kind of mental agility that will make you feel like you can conquer anything. Get ready for some seriously engaging puzzles. Prepare to be surprised by how your brain works. And get ready to see how these skills apply to your everyday life. Because trust me, the possibilities are endless. Let's explore this together. Ever noticed how easy it is to miss things? A crucial detail in a story, a tiny clue in a mystery, or even a simple instruction. We've all been there, jumping to conclusions and missing the forest for the trees. It's frustrating, isn't it? Well, here's a secret. The ability to observe is your ultimate superpower when it comes to problems. It's the foundation upon which every great detective, every brilliant scientist, and every successful person builds their understanding of the world. Think about it. Problem solving is all about gathering information, right? And how do you gather information? By observing, paying attention to the details, recognizing patterns, and avoiding the trap of making assumptions. Let's try a little experiment. Imagine you see a series of shapes, a square, a circle, a triangle, and then a question mark. What comes next? At first glance, you might think there's no pattern. But if you look closer, if you really observe, you might notice something. The question mark could be a diamond, because the shapes are arranged in order of sides. 4 sides, then no sides, then 3 sides, therefore 4 sides. That's the power of observation. It's about seeing what others miss. It's about asking yourself, what am I really looking at here? What are the pieces and how do they fit? Now, let's try a puzzle that you can pause and solve. I'll give you a few clues and you try to figure it out. I am always hungry. I must always be fed. The finger I touch will soon turn red. What am I? Take a moment, pause the video, and see if you can solve it. The answer is fire. Did you get it? If you did, congratulations. If not, don't worry. The important thing is that you're practicing the skill of observation. So how do you actually become a better observer? Well, it's simpler than you might think. Start by paying attention to your surroundings. When you're walking down the street, or sitting in a classroom, or even just scrolling through social media, really look at what's around you. Notice the details you would normally ignore. What colors are present? What sounds do you hear? What are people doing? Practice active listening. When someone is talking to you, don't just wait for your turn to speak. Really listen to what they're saying. Pay attention to their tone of voice, their body language, the words they choose. All of these things provide clues. And finally, challenge your assumptions. We all have preconceived notions about the world, but these can cloud our judgment and prevent us from seeing the truth. So when you're faced with a problem, ask yourself, what am I assuming here? Is there another way to look at this? By honing your observation skills, you're not just becoming a better problem solver. You're becoming more aware, more engaged, and more connected to the world around you. You're unlocking your inner Sherlock Holmes. Ever feel like you're your own worst enemy? Like you know you're smart, but you keep making these silly mistakes. You get things wrong, and then you kick yourself for it. It's frustrating, right? And it can make you feel like you're just not good at logic. Well, here's a secret. Your brain is actually wired to make mistakes. It's not your fault. It's just the way our brains work. We all have these things called cognitive biases, and they can completely sabotage our ability to think logically. What are cognitive biases? They're basically mental shortcuts our brains take to make decisions quickly, but these shortcuts can lead us astray. Let's look at a few of the most common culprits. First, we have confirmation bias. This is when you look for and favor information that confirms your existing beliefs. Imagine you believe that all cats are lazy. You'll probably pay more attention to videos of cats sleeping than videos of cats being active. You're confirming your initial belief. Then there's anchoring bias. This is when you rely too heavily on the first piece of information you receive, even if it's irrelevant. Think about negotiating a price. The first number mentioned, the anchor, has a huge influence on the final price. And finally, we have the availability heuristic. This is when you overestimate the importance of information that is readily available to you. For example, you might be more afraid of flying in a plane than driving a car, even though car accidents are far more common. This is because plane crashes are more heavily reported in the news, making them more available in your mind. These biases are like little gremlins in your brain, constantly whispering in your ear, leading you down the wrong path. But the good news is you can learn to recognize them and fight back. Let's put your new knowledge to the test. Imagine you're trying to decide where to eat dinner. You see two restaurants. One is highly rated online, but you see a lot of negative reviews about the service. The other has fewer reviews, but they're all positive. Which one would you choose? Now, think about the biases we've discussed. Are you being influenced by confirmation bias? Are you anchoring on the initial reviews? Are you overestimating the importance of the readily available information? Here are some strategies to help you overcome these biases. First, be aware of them. The more you understand how your brain works, the better equipped you are to catch these biases in action. Second, actively seek out diverse perspectives. Don't just read articles that confirm your beliefs. Read articles that challenge them. Talk to people who disagree with you. This will help you break free from confirmation bias. Third, question your assumptions. Before you make a decision, ask yourself, what am I assuming here? Is there another way to look at this? This will help you avoid anchoring bias. And finally, gather more information. Don't rely on the first piece of information you receive. Do your research. Look at different sources. This will help you counteract the availability heuristic by understanding these cognitive biases. And by using these strategies, you can take control of your thinking. You can become a more logical, more rational, and more effective problem solver. You can break free from those mental gremlins and start thinking clearly. Ever feel like you're staring at a giant, tangled mess? A problem so big, so complex, that you don't even know where to begin. It's overwhelming, right? And it can make you want to give up before you even start. Well, the good news is there's a way to tackle even the most complex problems. You just need the right tools. Think of yourself as a puzzle architect. You're not just solving puzzles, you're building them, one piece at a time. Let's explore some powerful problem-solving strategies. First, we have breaking down problems. This is the key to conquering anything that seems too big. Take a complex problem and break it down into smaller, more manageable steps. Next, we have working backward. Sometimes, the easiest way to solve a problem is to start at the end and work your way back to the beginning. This is especially useful in puzzles where you know the desired outcome. Then, we have looking for patterns. Patterns are everywhere, in numbers, in shapes, in sequences. The ability to recognize patterns is a fundamental skill in problem solving. Finally, we have using diagrams. Visual aids can be incredibly helpful. Drawing a diagram can help you visualize the problem, organize your thoughts, and identify relationships between different elements. Let's put these strategies to work. Let's say you're faced with a classic logic puzzle. 3 people are in a race. Alex finishes before Ben. Chris finishes before Alex. Who finished first? First, break down the problem. Identify the key pieces of information. We know there are 3 people. We know the order in which they finished. Next, look for patterns. We know that Alex is before Ben and Chris is before Alex, so we can start to build a sequence. Then, use a diagram. Draw a simple line. At one end, write first. At the other, write last. Now, place the people in order. Chris, then Alex, then Ben Dotso, who finished first. Chris, see how breaking down the problem? Looking for patterns and using diagrams can help? Now, let's try a more challenging puzzle. A farmer has to take a wolf, a goat, and some cabbage across a river. His boat can only carry him and one other thing at a time. If he leaves the wolf with the wolf will eat the goat. If he leaves the goat with the goat will eat the cabbage. How does he get everything across the river safely? Try this puzzle. Pause this video. Try and apply the different strategies we've covered. Break the problem down. Look for patterns. Try working backward and see if you can find a solution. Here's a template or a checklist to help you apply these strategies to any problem-solving situation. First, understand the problem. What are you trying to solve? What are the knowns? What are the unknowns? Second, plan your approach. Choose the strategies that are most relevant to the problem. Break it down. Work backward. Look for patterns. Use diagrams. Third, execute your plan. Put your strategies into action. Take it one step at a time. Fourth, evaluate your results. Did your solution work? If not, go back and try again. By using these strategies and by using this template, you can become a true puzzle architect. You can build your own problem-solving toolkit and conquer any challenge that comes your way. Ever feel like practice is a chore? That you need some kind of special ability to get better at something? And that if you're not naturally good at it, then you just never will be. It's a common feeling, right? Well, I'm here to tell you that practice is not a chore. It's the key to unlocking your potential. And you don't need any special abilities to improve your logic skills. You just need to play. The more you practice, the better you'll become. It's that simple. Think of it like learning a musical instrument. You don't become a virtuoso overnight. You have to put in the hours, the practice, the dedication, and the same is true for logic puzzles. The more puzzles you solve, the more familiar you become with different patterns, strategies, and techniques. You start to see connections that you never saw before. So, how do you actually practice? You play. There are so many fun and engaging ways to exercise your brain. There are countless online puzzle platforms, websites, and apps that offer a wide variety of logic puzzles, from simple riddles to complex challenges. There are board games. Many board games involve logic and strategy. Chess, checkers, Sudoku, and many more. They're a great way to have fun while you exercise your brain. There are mobile games. There are plenty of mobile games designed to challenge your problem-solving skills. And there are books. You can find books filled with logic puzzles. They're a great way to unplug and focus your mind. Let's create a plan. You can start by dedicating just 15 minutes a day to puzzles. That's all it takes to make a difference. Choose a platform or a game that interests you. Set a goal. Maybe you want to solve one puzzle a day or complete a certain number of levels. Make it a habit. Schedule your puzzle-solving time into your day. Treat it like any other important activity. Don't be afraid to challenge yourself. Start with easier puzzles and gradually work your way up to more difficult ones. And most importantly, have fun. Puzzle solving should be enjoyable. If you're not enjoying it, you're less likely to stick with it. So, what are your favorite puzzle resources? Share them in the comments below. Maybe you'll discover a new game or a new platform by incorporating puzzle solving into your daily life. You're not just improving your logic skills, you're also training your brain to think more critically, to be more creative, and to be more resilient in the face of challenges. You're becoming a better version of yourself, one puzzle at a time. Ever feel that sting of failure? That moment when you get something wrong and you feel completely discouraged, like you want to give up and you're afraid to try again? It's a tough feeling, right? Well, here's a secret. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's a stepping stone. It's an essential part of the learning process. If you want to become a master problem solver, you have to embrace failure. This is where the growth mindset comes in. A growth mindset is the belief that your abilities can be developed through dedication and hard work. It's the opposite of a fixed mindset, which is the belief that your abilities are fixed and unchangeable. When you have a growth mindset, you see mistakes as opportunities to learn and grow. You don't get discouraged by failure. You see it as a signal that you need to try a different approach to learn something new. To push yourself further, think about some of the greatest inventors and scientists in history. They didn't achieve their breakthroughs overnight. They made countless mistakes, they faced numerous setbacks, and they learned from each one. Take Thomas Edison, for example. He famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." That's a growth mindset in action. Or consider Marie Curie. She faced incredible challenges and setbacks in her research on radioactivity, but she persevered. She kept experimenting, she kept learning, and she eventually made groundbreaking discoveries. So, how do you cultivate a growth mindset? First, reframe failure. Instead of seeing failure as a sign of your inadequacy, see it as an opportunity to learn and grow. Second, embrace challenges. Don't shy away from difficult problems. They're the ones that will help you grow the most. Third, focus on the process, not just the outcome. Celebrate your effort, your persistence, and your willingness to learn. And finally, persist when facing challenges. Don't give up easily. Keep trying, keep experimenting, and keep learning. Think about a time you learned from a mistake. Share it in the comments. What did you learn? How did you grow by embracing failure? By cultivating a growth mindset, you can transform your relationship with problems. You can become more resilient, more persistent, and more confident in your abilities. You can unlock your full potential. You can turn every setback into a stepping stone on your path to success. So, let's recap. We've explored the secrets of logic, puzzles, and problem solving. We've delved into the power of observation. We've unmasked the biases that can trip us up. We've built a toolkit of strategies to conquer any challenge. We've emphasized the importance of practice and play. And we've learned to embrace failure as a stepping stone to success. Remember, problem solving is not a talent you're born with. It's a skill that you can develop with effort and practice. You have the potential to become a logic master, and the journey starts now. So, go out there and put your new skills to the test. Solve puzzles, analyze situations, make decisions, apply what you've learned to your studies, your hobbies, and your everyday life. Keep practicing, keep learning. The possibilities are endless. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe to the channel. We'll be bringing you more content to help you sharpen your critical thinking skills, learn new things, and unlock your full potential. As Albert Einstein once said, the important thing is to not stop questioning. Curiosity has its own reason for existing. So, keep questioning, keep exploring, and keep learning, because the world is full of puzzles waiting to be solved.